Right, Fred, yeah, Starcraft, our favourite. Lovely looking horse. He's a lightly raced 3-year-old. He's only had 5 starts. He's by Soviet Star, trained by Gary Newham. John Powell in the saddle. I know he only won a maiden in his previous start, but he was very, very impressive. And Gary, he's a big sort of a horse too. Big track horse, and Eagle Farm should suit him. And he has a lot of upside to him. Often racing. Starcraft began fairly. He's about the middle of the field when he's going forward. The first to go, Relancer, outside in the early part. Another length away, Sunfair, and Starcraft is next. He's in the middle. They're closely being followed by Winning Friends a little bit deep. Gaelic Prince on the fence, and then comes Power Pacific and High Queeler. Just Polite second last, and Mast on the rails is last of all. They're down to the 700 metres mark. Our Academy Star, 3-part Sajid Hero. 1 Relancer third, and racing fourth Genova. And then comes Sunfair next the inside. Starcraft is going forward now. He's in the middle. Winning Friends deep, and Gaelic Prince on the rails from High Queeler, followed by Power Pacific, Just Polite and Mast. Our Academy Star leads in the straight, coming to the 400 metres mark from Relancer. Then Sajid Hero, Sunfair trying to get up on the fence. Oh, Starcraft's got no room. Out wide, Genova and Winning Friends down the outside. Sunfair got up on the inside. Starcraft is bursting out of the ruck. He's coming now. Sunfair hit the front. Starcraft and Winning Friends. It's Sunfair and Starcraft. Starcraft draws level. The big horse gets up to win. Starcraft beats Sunfair, and Winning Friends is third. It's a photo fourth. Relancer is very prominent with Gaelic Prince.
Thanks, Al. Yeah, he bullocked into the clear, and he's a big, bold, striding colt, and he took a bit of time to warm up, but once he got into the clear, he did his work well at the end of the race, and has won going away by Soviet Star at a Flying Floozy, a Pompey Court mare, and John 251.50 over Sunfair and Winning Friends.
For him, good win the other day in the Class 3. Had his job getting through it down the straight, so there is
a mountain of a horse, Starcraft. Lovely big horse. Lord of the Kings was fast away, and Poetic Heights is showing good speed. Starcraft is second last as they go through the first 200 metres. Lord Rostick is dropping the scene at the rear. It's Poetic Heights showing the way. Poetic Heights is a length in front. Second on the outside is Exquisitely. 2 away third, Lord of the Kings, followed by Pedro's Power. Fifth on the rails, Take Strike. Mixerdad is going forward. Lexington Park is away from the rails, being followed up on the outside by Palatine. Starcraft has ridden along a little bit, coming up towards the home turn. He's starting to close on them now, but he's still 6 lengths off the leader. But Pope's bringing him to the extreme outside to give him plenty of room. Poetic Heights is still the leader, Exquisitely trying hard the outside. Lexington Park going to third, followed by Palatine, and Starcraft on the outside. He's as green as grass, but here he comes. Here comes the favourite right down the outside. Starcraft went to Exquisitely. He is good. Starcraft by 2 lengths, Exquisitely second, Lexington Park third, then Doran Donner and Perfect Sting Palatine. Oh, pretty good horse, Starcraft. Pretty good. He was still moving about. Ken Pope for Gary Newham by Soviet Star at a Flying Floozy. Is raced by the Paul Lindsay.
Is lining up into the stalls. It's a good quality field this year, the Debonair. Fearless Sophie won the Sing. Elvstrom, one of the first to bounce out on the inside. Dane Fever got away quickly in the early stages. Bushido's just easing off the speed in the early part, and Promoted is going quickly looking for the lead, and Abdullah's up there with One Gilded Youth, and then Starcraft and Cahuita went back to last. At the 800, Weinstock's gone to the lead. A neck clear from Promoted the inside, 1.5 lengths to Abdullah. Then came Elvstrom over on the inside in 4th placing, 2 lengths to Under the Bridge, followed by Dane Fever Escape, and then Bushido. Go Forever well back in the yellow as they swing round the turn, and then Gilded Youth. Cahuita's pulled to the outside, and Starcraft is last. Round the turn, it's Weinstock from Promoted. Elvstrom over near the inside, just hanging it would appear, as Abdullah comes with a run down the outside, and then Escape, and Cahuita and Starcraft is right down the outside. At the 300, Abdullah raced up and went to the lead. Elvstrom and Under the Bridge are coming through on the inside to tackle him, and Starcraft is coming down the outside. Starcraft wide out on the course, getting up to Under the Bridge, and Elvstrom, 100 left to go. Under the Bridge, and Starcraft, he's wobbling off the track. Starcraft, but too good, and Starcraft gets up to win by a length to Under the Bridge. Elvstrom third, Cahuita fourth, then Bushido Escape, Abdullah, followed by Gilded Youth. Promoted drop in the Debonair. Well, we can say it's an upset, but I think those from Queensland who've been watching this horse closely would say far from an upset. He's been able to reel off some terrific finishing bursts to win. seemingly in trouble at his most recent start. He was 8 or 10 lengths off the leaders at the 300 and unwound a dazzling finishing run. But I think most people expected he might have found them a little bit nippy at the 1400 today. Big giant horse. He'd had a few little problems. They thought he'd...
The Warwick Farm ratings on the Group 1 Chipping Norton Stakes on a slow track. Keep that in mind now. You're looking for the horses who...
3, 6 and 7. Well, this is the horse with the slow track form on the board, Starcraft. Remember him winning the Debonair brilliantly out wide there on a slow track at Flemington. Look, there's only negative.
Racing in the Chipping Norton, and on the inside Gentle Genius out pretty well, but it's going to be Prime Century leading early from Platinum Scissors, Muthea, Gentle Genius. Accelerator pratted out very wide over the 1400 crossing. Ambulance inside Starcraft, about 4 lengths Terrific Tour, and going along to the halfway at the 800, and Platinum Scissors shows the way. Accelerator sitting second, Muthea third, then Gentle Genius, followed by Prime Century. A little wider out as the heavily back favourite Starcraft, and then Freemason over on the inside of Ambulance, and Absolute is Terrific Taurus. They work their way along past the 600 marker. Platinum Scissors quickens up. Accelerator second. Here's Starcraft making a move. Over on the inside is Gentle Genius, followed by Prime Century. Ambulance on the extreme outside. Freemason, Muthea, and 2 lengths Terrific Taurus. Gentle Genius close to the inside. Hits the front in the Chipping Norton as they're homeward bound. Starcraft wider out to second. Accelerator, Platinum Scissors, and then Ambulance. They reach the 200. Gentle Genius taken on by Starcraft, and the Gold Coast Colt raced up to Gentle Genius, put paid to him, and then comes Ambulance late. Starcraft is the leader, safely holding Ambulance, and Starcraft wins the Chipping Norton from Ambulance and Gentle Genius, and then Freemason in company with Accelerator, Terrific Taurus, Platt.
Of course, lost the Cadbury Guineas behind Reset, but the form lines have really stuck up. Ambulance finished off really good for second.
Williams, and I'm lucky enough to get a really good horse. Better than I ever could have expected. We don't have any plans. We might give him a break and we might take him overseas. He's a long striding horse, not very suited to this sort of a track today, and we think that.
Part owner Paul Macon, it's 5 from 10. Starcraft
winner. He's the real thing, this horse. And I do feel he'll be better next time in. He's still a big, raw talent, I feel.
Put up $1 million. If Lloyd puts up $1 million, and they'll have a match race between Starcraft and...
Reset.
Reset, that's right. Reset. Very good horse. In fact, I think they are the 2 most promising horses in the country at the moment.
Definitely.
Bunsen Honeydew. Now, there's 2 in the club's colours here. Bunsen Honeydew and Copian. Bunsen Honeydew.
$140,000. And it is a Group 2, and 12 months ago.
That said, magnificent colt. Racing, Starcraft was one of the first to get going, and near the inside Braylock was fast away, and Oxano showing good speed, and so is Delzeo. Starcraft is now drifting back. He's back to 4th last on the outside. Braylock, Delzeo's 1 off the rails, about 8 lengths off the leader. Starcraft is about 3 behind Delzeo. Moving up on the outside is Rajasthan. Over on the rails there is Kindak, followed by Strafe. Starting to go forward is Penitentiary. Starcraft has been shuffled well back through the field. He's back to near last now, in company there with Dancing Draggers as they come up towards the home turn. They've got 450 metres left to go. Aneed is the leader. Aneed in front of Sadler's Song. Braylock and Oxano to the outside. Point of Honour starting a run. Delzeo's working into the clear, and here comes Starcraft. Starcraft is right down the outside, and in a couple of big bounds he's raced up to them to go to the lead from Point of Honour. He hasn't really gone for him as yet, and Starcraft is starting to draw away. He's a giant of a horse. He's an equine Schwarzenegger, and he's racing to the line to win brilliantly. Starcraft first, Strafe second, 3rd over the line Delzeo. 4th in then was Braylock, followed in by Ox. Last one over the line. He's a star, that horse. Jesus, star.
Here, Wayne. Arrogance almost. I mean, what a win, what a horse. I mean, there's a bit of Farlap. No, not suggesting he's Farlap, but there's a bit of Farlap about him today. I mean, he was in an impossible position. The acceleration before the turn, how wide he went, and then Bossy switches off here, puts the brakes on. Is he the Derby favourite? And the yellow's at home and special...
5.53 and the official tote dividends, and the winner, Starcraft, Glenn Boss.
All right, 1-6 off. He's won the 2,000 metre Tulloch Stakes. Well done to Gary Newell.
Boss aboard over Strafe Delzeo. Starcraft having its first run for a month.
I'll tell you why this horse is a very, very good racehorse, because at about the 600-metre mark, when he was at the back of the field, he was a long way out of the race, and I was standing with some very learned judges who said this horse will have a job ahead of him from here, and he made ground under a hold. He made ground under a hold to get up outside the leaders, and I think that's a sign of a very good horse. Let's talk.
The top rater, Niello, Starcraft and Del Zao, 12, 2, 3 and 4. $2 million race coming up. Group 1 for the 3-year-olds, and Starcraft has taken over as favourite. He's at $3.20 now in the market for the Australian Derby. The first out to $3.70, so a bit of a drifter. Niello on the tote, Starcraft and Special.
Braylock, the leader.
No change in the Derby as they sweep to the High Street side. They've got 850 ahead of them here, and Braylock is the leader. Second posse, Timberina, 2.5 Penitentiary and 3/4 Special Harmony. 1.5 to Del Zao, Kingside, followed by Lord of the Land. Starcraft wedged away, and then comes under the bridge, followed by Elstrom, Dancing Daggers. Niello second last, and Kind Actors last as they come to the home corner. 500 metres out, and Braylock is the leader, a length on Timberina. Special Harmony being called upon by Oliver, and then Del Zao followed by Starcraft. Boss has got him away from the rails, and the Gold Coast Colt is starting to come down the udder, and the yellow heads the others. Now 200 metres to go. Special Harmony struggles. Here's Starcraft after Braylock and Timberina from Del Zao. Starcraft on the outside races up to Braylock. Starcraft and Braylock, the two of them go to the line. Starcraft on the outside, or Braylock in a terrific finish. They're wide apart. Third posse going to Del Zao from Elstrom, Timberina. Further back, Special.
Well, he's a brilliant racehorse, and he has a wonderful future, Starcraft. He's off to the Spelling Paddock. That's it for his autumn campaign. A well-deserved
30 equal favourite. With the unplaced Special Harmony.
I thought he was going to win quite convincingly, but at the end of the day, he's probably not going to be remembered as a great 1.5 mile horse. I think he's going to be best remembered as a miler, and probably 2,000 metres would probably be
100 metres before the post?
For sure. He was completely gassed. Actually getting to this point now, about 150 out, he was completely gassed, and, pretty well had to draw on all his reserves and stick his big buff head out. Luckily he's got a big one, so...
For the big one from New Zealand, the Mudgeway Stakes. It is race number 9. Starcraft, the top rater, Irish Rover, Sedecrum and King's Chapel. Avoid a clash situation here. We've got the big Group 1 from New Zealand, only 5 minutes away and hot on the hit.
Now for the running of the Mudgeway Parts World Stakes Group 1, 1,400 metres. First of the 3-race series. The racing in the Mudgeway. Lashed was very slow out of the gates. Kainowi Bell went back, as did Belmuse. Miss Potential came away fast. Kalamata is going straight up, and Miss Potential taken on by Kalamata. Then we have over on the inside Burglar and King of them all. Rosina Lads, 3 outers working forward, and then Cedar Manor getting a card into the race. Irish Rover one off. Sedecrum the inside. Starcraft looking to get out and around. Runners held in a pocket by Penny Gem. King's Chapel, Ben Sparta behind them. Belmuse, Kainui Bell, and then surprised, and Lashed was last as they turn in the Mudgeway. Miss Potential against the inside, she found a bit. Kalamata on the outside, trying to get on terms for Katie Hercock. Miss Potential is fighting for all she is worth. Now Kalamata the outside, Starcraft, he's about to fly the last little bit. Miss Potential, Starcraft is absolutely flying. Amazing performance. Starcraft has got it from Miss Potential. Just as they turn in the Mudgeway, Miss Potential against the inside, she found a bit. Kalamata on the outside, trying to get on terms for Katie Hercock. Miss Potential is fighting for all she is worth. Now Kalamata the outside, Starcraft, he's about to fly the last little bit. Miss Potential, Starcraft is absolutely flying. Amazing performance. Starcraft has got it from Miss Potential, and then I think Kalamata, Rosina Lad behind them, Cedar Manor, Kingscha. Unbelievable, he couldn't win. He got up from the dead to win.
Yeah, that shows how good the horse is today. To come back and do this today, first run back, fantastic. It's just all ahead of him now.
Your thoughts during the
4:30 for the last 600, and I thought if she was going to do that, yesterday, then it was going to be hard for us to catch her anyway. And so naturally, I was thinking that we were going to run second, really.
It was.
Right. We'll stay there for the Group 2 on the 18th. And we'll go to the... I didn't rate him that. I just think he's when I saw him when he's Class 3 in Doomben, up in Brisbane, I just thought... He just reminded me of Burnborough, and I just thought to myself, can I think any...
Well, we're watching him here now. This is one of the shortest straights in racing. It's only 380 metres long. So this finish is unbelievable, isn't it?
No surprises there. Rosina Lad, Miss Potential and Irish Rover. 9 first bunch. There's not much else to report. In fact, with Starcraft's price, he's completely dominating the Australian figures. $1.04 New South Wales, $1 back Super Tab and Unitab at this stage. And over in New Zealand, a show there at $9.40. She'll be setting the pace in this race. The Stony Bridge Stakes. And it
sleeves and cap racing in the Stony Bridge. He wasn't brilliantly away. He is back to about last at the jump and going back Sedecrum, as to was Woburn. Miss Potential came away quickly. Irish Rover whipping straight up onto the speed, and Scriven Sense Potential 1,000 metres to go. Irish Rover's trying to soften her up, and Distinctly Secret, he's getting a lovely run, as to is Rosina Lad. He's next on the outside. Alendal over on the outside of King Keitel, and Dowry the inside of that pair. Starcraft Boss is easing him to the outside now. He's starting to go forward with a lap full of horse 2. Then on a babe away from the fence. Lashed is going to try and tack on to Starcraft as they run to the 600. Woburn 2 lengths away, and Sedecrum can see them all in the Stony Bridge as they run to the home corner. Miss Potential, Irish Rover trying to get on terms. Alendal comes around them 3 wide. Distinctly Secret behind them is Starcraft. He's starting to run home well, and Lashed is out a little bit deeper. He said go to Starcraft, and he went quickly to Miss Potential, who finds a bit on the inside. She's coming back. Miss Potential. Starcraft is going to have to call on all his great qualities, and there are many of them. He's lifting Starcraft. He'll win. Starcraft in it. Miss Potential second, and I third. Irish Rover all on the outside. Flying home was Lashed. Distinctly Secret, Rosina Lad behind these runners of the field. Those that took the $1.35 will just want a minute to compose themselves. He went.
But one thing we should...
The barrier, the gate, come back and actually smacked him in the side of the head, and he blundered virtually on his knees early, which probably didn't matter because they didn't get into a great spot. But
I criticised that victory, a couple of keen judges.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They're still got him 2-1 for the Cox Plate. Yeah. What do they want people to take? Look, I thought it was an acceptable performance. Yeah. He was second up. They got a rest up front. Look, this mare up front sprinting home. Bossy wasn't overly keen the last little bit. He was just looking after him.
I give him a pass for that.
It's acceptable.
Yep.
It's acceptable.
It was good enough on the day, and he's a good horse. He just...
Tonight our time in France, in the Prix de Moulin. Is that what they call it?
De Moulin.
De Moulin, de Longchamp?
Yeah, de Longchamp. And I'll tell you what, it was a great run too, because he led and just bowled along and quickened. Right. He settled beautifully. I think they've got the horse going finally the way they want him to go.
Comes Altieri and Gorella in the red and white hoops, making it sound about 3 furlongs to go from here. And Starcraft's made all the running so far for Luca Kamani and Christophe Lemaire. Whipper on the inside, the green and white hoops. Cacique starting to be ridden along. Then comes Felixia in 4th position, the Aga Khan Silks, followed by Gorella. Altieri is trying to run on from arrears. We're inside the final 300. It's all the way so far for Starcraft and Christophe Lemaire. Whipper gallantly trying to run on in 2nd position. Then comes Cacique. Gorella's making up ground late, as indeed is Major's Cast, but up towards the line it's Starcraft out in front. Gorella and Major's Cast. Starcraft gets it. Gorella and Major's Cast 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, Starcraft from Gorella and Major's Cast.
Yeah, and they're looking at perhaps sending him. They were talking about the Breeders' Cup, going the way they wanted him to go. It's taken him best part of 12 months to settle in over there, but he's, you know, just shows our horses are right up there with the better horses anywhere in the world.
It's all worth it.
Paul Macon told me this morning, Richard, the Breeders' Cup is very, very, very unlikely. It'll run next in the Queen Elizabeth, coming up at Newmarket. It's the race normally held at Ascot, a straight 1,600-metre race. But he'll want to be good because he meets Rapke again, Jubawi from the Godolphin stable, and the good filly from over there, Attraction. But
Jubawi is the 6-4 favourite. Rapke is 5-2 from 11-4. It's 7-2 Starcraft, 10-1 Mullins.
Ready.
ready, and they're racing. Blatant on the near side, jumps straight into the lead. Whitecap from Starcraft, who just dropped in behind Sleeping Indian, the white jacket. Further back then, Racti on the extreme left, and Mullins Bay. Looks like they might even split into two here. Racti coming up the centre with Mullins Bay and Dubawi tracking the pair, and on the near side, Blatant from Sleeping Indian and Starcraft. Well, that just might throw a spanner in the works here, because halfway, Racti, who went to post like a lamb today, is out in front, about 2 lengths to Mullins Bay, just being stoked along. 3 lengths away then is Dubawi tracking the pair. On the near side is Blatant from Starcraft, who's well up with him, and Sleeping Indian behind them. Passing the 3. Race on in earnest now. It's Blatant flat to the board. Starcraft easing up on his outside with Sleeping Indian. Racti out in the centre, being tackled by Mullins Bay, and Frankie's now coming over to the near side with Dubawi. But it's Starcraft who's gone for home now. Starcraft the first to strike for home. He pulls the whip, Lemaire. Here's Dubawi on his outside from Blatant Sleeping Indian. Racti starting to flounder out in the centre. Starcraft with a rail, though, is finding plenty. He's about a neck in front. Dubawi trying hard to wear him down. Starcraft sticking to his guns. The Aussie's too good. Starcraft wins the QE2. Dubawi second, Blatant third, Racti fourth, followed by Sleeping Indian and Mullins Bay. Well, what a performance. He is very good. Starcraft, he had to do it. Dubawi.
I think there was real pride and pleasure in Jim's voice when he said, the Aussie's too good. What a monster of a horse. He towered over Dubawi. And in those...
Paul, what favourite of the 6 runners, with Dubawi second, the 6-4 favourite.
So Starcraft takes Group 1 glory in England.
Rich, just put that in context for us.
Well, Starcraft at his last start beat the best milers in Europe, in France. I think it was a Prix Moulin or something, a name escapes me, Prix de Moulin. And in this race, the Queen Elizabeth, he meets the best milers in Europe and England and Ireland probably, and he's defeated them as well. He has gone to the top of the rankings of the milers, probably worldwide. He's probably the top ranked miler in the world at the moment, Starcraft.
And Richard,
with that win, I've been talking to a number of experts this morning. They believe with that win he's doubled what he was originally earned, or originally believed to be worth, with his stud values. Could we have seen Starcraft for the final time? Paul Macon's phones haven't...
Right.
But other than that, well, I've been offered 16 million for him, and I won't take that.
You've been offered 16 million, and you've knocked that back.
Yeah. But
what will you take?
But it is important to me that I keep him, you know, keep him in Australia to a degree.
So is he for sale or not for sale?
He is for sale.
Would 20 buy him?
No, 20 wouldn't buy him.
No.
I don't need the money that much, Richard. You know, I'm going to do well whichever way I look at it. So I don't mind if I lost a few mil and I kept him for Australia, really.
Yeah. Richard doesn't need the money either.
Hey, Paul, what about that?
Finish the